House and Senate have agreed to a deal that could send a new bill to the president's desk before the end of the month. It would slap Russia with new sanctions and give Congress veto power over easing sanctions against Moscow. The deal also includes sanctions against Iran and North Korea and comes despite lobbying by the White House to water down sanctions on Russia. Joining me right now to discuss this, Lynn Sweet, Washington bureau chief for the Chicago Sun-Times, and David Rohde, a CNN global affairs analyst, joining us from Aspen. So, David, let me begin with you. This is something the president and his administration has been arguing against, and now sets up a real showdown between members of Congress and the president. So, what options does this leave the president when it comes down to this bill hitting his desk?
So, to be fair, multiple presidents have sort of pushed back on this kind of legislation. They say it's the president's prerogative under the Constitution to sort of do these things. But for Trump, though, this points, I think, to his sort of political isolation. His party controls both houses of Congress. And this is different, too, because the many
Russia investigations involving the White House continue.
Yes. Yeah, no, I'm trying to be fair, but yes, it's bad news to the administration. It shows that Republicans on the Hill, it's a small step, but it's a step away from the Trump White House. It's Republicans on the Hill showing they will confront Russia over the objections of the White House.
So, Lynn, the White House has been making that case, that it wants to make relations with Russia better, more flexible, and that these sanctions make that more difficult. So now that the House and Senate have come up with this plan to potentially override the president's power on this, what kind of battle does this set up for the president?
There's a big internal battle brewing, because the only reason this measure is where it is today is because the Republican House and Senate leaders did it, ignoring the desire of President Trump.